What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Let Jill Talk, or if this is your first time joining in, welcome. Today we're going to be doing something, actually I think this is the first time I'm going to tackle on this topic ever in any of my videos, and I've been doing videos for 8 years, so I've been talking about this a lot. Today I want to talk about, because coming soon, very soon, I think when this post will be a week, Halloween will be out. The pseudo reboot slash sequel to the original movie, which I am freaking jacked about. Like, I am not the biggest slasher film fan ever, but I do like those movies, the original ones, the sequels. I'll get to that in a minute. And so when it was announced that we were getting a proper, that's the thing that's a little bit tricky. Like, we technically got a proper sequel to the original Halloween in the early or late 2000s. Early 2000s, late 90s. I don't remember. Sorry, I should have done my homework before this. That was meant to be a true continuation, and then they fucked things over again. So now they're doing it again. But I have more faith this time. But the topic I want to talk about this week is: will Halloween successfully reinvigorate the other slasher film franchise, like Night of Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Hellblazer, I believe that's the name. I might be butchering that. Those types of films. Now, of course, now what do I mean by slasher film? Well, I mean the serial killer slasher films like Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, those group of people. And I just find it hilarious. Well, I don't find it hilarious. I find it a little bit weird that because when I was a kid, I used to read a lot of Wikipedia. Like, for me, Wikipedia was my main reliable source. Now I understand, like, that's not really, I mean, it's a hub world, and you can link off there to find the actual information. And I kept hearing when I'm a movie fan, so every time I go on Wikipedia and check what movies are coming out in the near future, there's always a listing for a Halloween movie, a Friday the 13th movie, Nine Elm Street movie, and when they were happening, you know, I was a little bit excited because I'm like, oh my god, we're going to get a new one, but they constantly kept getting pushed back, they kept getting delayed, and I wasn't aware why is this happening. It was like, well, I now understand that A, production difficulties, number two, maybe the studio just doesn't believe these films can sell in the current media space of movies. Maybe they won't resonate with audience, and at this point, I don't think audience members would at least agree to see yet another one. So the history behind this is that when the original movies, like I'm going to say Halloween, Night of Elm Street, Friday the 13th as examples, when those came out, they didn't blow up the world, because again, the world was like, we didn't have online media, we didn't have social media yet, so it was kind of like more of a word of mouth. Like, those really, like, there were so many people like, you gotta see this movie, you gotta see this movie. And then those movies blew up, and then they started franchises. But after the second one, debatably the third one, that's when shit started hitting the fan. Now they just kept getting sequels. Like, I remember freaking Friday the 13th went up to the to 10 movies. Then they did that crossover thing, which ironically was the first one I watched, so I skipped all those origins. But however, half of those movies were just god-awful. Because eventually they started deviating from what made the original movies so amazing, and started doing, like, this weird story. Like, I remember, I think Halloween, the original series, not the there's 4 series of Halloween. The original series, then it was the pseudo-actual series, which H2O and Resurrection, and then there was the reboot with Rob Zombie, and now this is the new one, the 4th one with Halloween, and then Halloween from 2018. So there was fucking 4 of them, Jesus Christ. No wonder I'm so confused about this. So when those were happening, I remember the Halloween story, like, he can still deviate. Like, it was just a serial killer who wanted to kill someone. I haven't rewatched the first one. I'm going to do that before the reboot next week. I don't know where I'm going to fit that in, but I'm going to rewatch that. So I'm sorry, I don't remember. But I do remember, like, the storyline 4 onwards was Michael Myers trying to kill. Apparently he was connected to Laurie, and then now he has to kill his bloodline or something, some stupid shit like that. Apparently he impregnated, I don't know, that's the thing. It eventually got so weird and confusing that eventually fans just, like, gave it up. And then eventually, it applied to the other movie series, where, like, eventually the more movies they made, the less sense they made, the less fans liked them, and then things started to change. And then eventually by the mid-2000s, they just stopped making those movies. And then then it was around the 2009, 2010 era where they just said, okay, we're going to reboot everything. We're going to restart. fresh new beginning for a new audience. Well, actually, no. It was 2007 with the Halloween remake by Rob Zombie. That did pretty well, supposedly, to make a sequel, H2, I think a couple years later. And then that kickstarted the Friday the 13th reboot, which I don't think that did that well. There was a lot of marketing for that movie. I remember that, because when I was a kid watching TV back then, there was just a lot of freaking promos for the Friday the 13th reboot. And then there was The Nightmare on Elm Street, which was produced by Michael Bay, so this was after Revenge of the Fallen, so sadly he did not have the best track record. And those films didn't do well. They didn't last the first movie or even the second one. They didn't get sequels, or in the case of Halloween, there wasn't an H3 or anything. And then that's when things started to go away. That's when people started not... And the studio's head was like, you know what, we'll make more, but they're going to take a while. And it was years and years and years, and there was no progress on them. And then eventually it came to the point where recently, I think it was last year, there was reports that I think it was Danny McBride was teaming up with someone else. I forgot. I'm really sorry for blanking on these names here. I just don't want to give false information. They had this idea to do a proper Halloween sequel, like with John Carpenter involved in it. This is going to be the real sequel to the original Halloween. So 2 onwards, all those movies, they don't fucking count. Forget about this movie. This was the true sequel. And that was something a lot of fans got hyped for, because we're in this new space where finally we're starting to get the people who used to watch those movies back in the day, they're finally coming back and making proper sequels, proper continuations, because sometimes it could be a reboot, sometimes it could be a spiritual sequel, whatever. A proper continuation with the same love and TLC that the original films had. And that got a lot of people so excited about, because we're going to finally get, and then the first trailer came out, and then right now a lot of people are really hyped for this movie. This movie apparently is getting really good reviews from the early reactions I've been hearing, so I'm really excited to see this next week. But now back to my main question. Sorry for giving you that entire backstory. I just wanted to give you the frame of mindset, where we are now, and where we're going to be after Halloween's over. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I do believe this movie is going to be a success. I do believe this movie is going to make a lot of money. I don't think it'll be like last year's It. I don't think it'll make that much money, but it'll make enough to like at least indicate to the people, we want these movies back, but with the same TLC that this movie is receiving. And they're already planning to do a follow-up to this movie, so I can't wait to see what that entitled. And sort of where I'm really excited, like, are we going to get a Night Elm Street proper continuation? Now, I'm not going to say let's just do it again, like this will make a proper Night Elm Street sequel, because I don't think that's happening, but a proper Freddy Krueger movie that is great and still it's trying to connect with the old, like have Robert Englund come back. I think he's doing a new episode of The Goldbergs as his character, so he's willing to do the role again. So sort of like maybe like make it a continuation, but have a new cast or something like that. And Friday the 13th, obviously that's poised for a reboot. The video game, like a couple years ago, was such a success that, I mean, the fan base is there. The fan bases are there for the series. They just need a great movie to like really be like, yes, I support this one, and I'll give you the money, keep making more movies like this. And I really hope Halloween is the one to, like, spark it up again. I really hope, because I think Child's Play, the Chucky series, does count into this. It is a killer slasher movie, except the reason why I don't think Chucky counts on this list, because his recent endeavors, the last 2 movies, were only direct-to-DVD, because budgetly, after Seed of Chucky, I don't think anyone wanted to freaking support a 6th one. So they say, you know what, we're gonna do direct-to-DVD, smaller budget, back to the original style. And those were great. I saw Curse, really good movie. I haven't seen Cult yet. It's been a year. I have it on DVD, but I'm just waiting to see it with my dad, so I don't have a proper opinion on it. I'm really hoping this actual reboot that they're making that's separate, and that's stupid. Like now they're doing the same thing. Like there's two Child Play series working on. There's one with the original creator that is the one I'm more excited about, where it's gonna explore. I'm not going to spoil Cult for you, but it sets up a lot of seeds for the potential for the future of that franchise. But then there's another studio, I think Orin Pictures. They're working on a proper reboot for the series, but I don't think that's going to do well, to be completely honest with you. But who knows? Everyone's entitled to make their own interpretation. So, okay, excluding Chucky aside, Halloween does have the potential to be great. It does have the potential to come back and show the world that we still care about the slasher genre, specifically the cultural icon. And who knows, they could make brand new slasher cultural icon. Now again, 2018, 2019, next year, it's a little bit difficult to make an original character again, because, you know, you're going to have to be inspired by something else. And it's hard to do something original. I get that. But right now, I don't think... I'm not saying start a cinematic universe. I'm not saying that at all. I don't think they should do that again. I feel like... I'm going to say this again. Halloween has the potential to be a great movie, critically, and it will make a lot of money. That's my prediction. That's my bold prediction. It's going to make a lot of money. I'm going to say around $300 million. And their budget's pretty small, so they're going to make a lot of money. But... given how last year, it's more of a weird thing. I don't think it's a slasher movie. It's more of an adaptation of the book, which if it was just a supernatural type movie. But it's still in that same horror mindset where it is someone killing people, and that was a great movie. So I'll technically count it to this. I could be wrong. If you want to prove me wrong, go ahead, comment below. But for me right now, and I hopefully a lot of people will agree with me. From what I'm hearing from the interviews, from what I'm hearing from behind the scenes, Halloween is really a love letter to the fans. Like, yeah, we still care about the Michael Myers character. This is the movie you've been waiting for, and hopefully it will spawn new sequels, actual good stories, and we're gonna be back. Now, I'm not saying we're gonna start getting a slasher movie every year. I don't think so. I don't think that's gonna happen for a while. I feel like I don't know who owns Nightmare on Elm Street or the Friday the 13th properties. But I do believe they're going to start taking attention, like, yeah, let's do it, but I'm not going to say Danny McBride needs to be on board for all these. I'm pretty sure there's some producer out there, there's some actor, some writer who cares about these properties, like, I can do this justice, I could do this, give me it, and I'm going to make a great movie for you. I do believe that. And again, I've said this before, it's all about finding the right people. There are the right people out there. There's someone out there, probably in their apartment, dying to pitch their Nightmare on Elm Street reboot, sequel, whatever. They're out there. They just need to find them. And hopefully Halloween is going to tell the studio heads, people still care about this genre. We need to get these movies back out there again. Because it's the same thing like all the revivals we're getting. Like, we can not Halloween can also spawn a new generation of slasher fans, a new generation of that genre. And then there will be the audience there to possibly, maybe even eventually do original films. You know, new culture icons. Who knows? And I do believe Halloween is going to be the one to start the fire. This year has been great in terms of, like, there's always that one thing that's going to start. Spider-Man, I'm hopeful it's going to kick up a real Marvel's game renaissance where we're going to get love letters. I explained that already. Watch that episode if you want to. Halloween could be the same thing for the slasher film genre, and I'm really excited for it. Now, again, I've watched majority of them as a kid, so I don't have any... I sadly don't have a professional opinion on my current state of mind in films. I still believe the originals are great and classics, and I do believe that Halloween is going to serve a proper follow-up to the original Halloween, and I can't wait for that movie next week. And yeah, so that's it. Hopefully, we will get to see more proper, great slasher films in the near future. Hopefully. Go support Halloween. This was not sponsored by Halloween. I'm just saying, I'm jacked for that movie, and I'm not really the biggest Halloween fan, but I still like those movies, and I can't wait to see how the movie goes. So, that's my bold prediction. We will get more slasher movies someday of the caliber of Halloween. So, we'll wait on that. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't. Like the video, favorite the video. Please do not do anything sexually explicit with this video. And I will see you guys next week.